Hello, Antioch Community High School. My name is Caleb Zaborski. Welcome to your weekly weather forecast, number 27. Finally enough, covering up until April 27th. It's up right into next week. So, for the week of April 22nd, 2024, we start Monday with a JV and varsity lacrosse game here at Antioch with a high of high 50s and a low 40s. It's going to be a little bit colder than what it has been, but once again, very comfortable for this time of year. Tuesday we head into, we have two varsity games going on, varsity softball here and varsity volleyball here as well. High of mid 50s and a low of high 40s. So it gets a little bit colder for the high, but gets hotter for the low. For Wednesday, we have varsity baseball and we have JV co-ed track. Once again, both here, a high of low 50s and a low of high 30s. It's just getting a little bit colder. So for Thursday, we have girls varsity soccer, and that's a high of low 50s and a low of high 30s. Friday, we have the NLCC art show that we're hosting here at Antioch, a high of low 50s and a low of mid 40s. And then Saturday, finally, we have a varsity softball tri-meet. I think there's like 3 games going on, and that has a high of high 50s and a low of high 40s. So overall, trend-wise, Saturday may be the hottest out of all days. Now, to cover, temperature outlook, we have about pretty average temperatures, as you can see. Over here in the west, above average. Over here in the east, below average. But over here, pretty average. Precipitation also is above average. But I want to try something new today. Using Pivotal Weather, which is what I use to get all my outlooks, I want to do a live forecast here with all of you guys. And it starts with this. This is an ensemble model. And it basically tells me, out of all these runs of different models that say, oh, it's going to rain this much and that much, it basically determines an average for all that. So here it's Monday at 12 a.m. You can kind of see it down here. I'm going to do a little bit of scrolling here. But going on throughout Monday, it's going to be pretty not rainy because now this is up to Tuesday at 12 a.m. And as you can see, we get, let's see, it says, if I click right here, almost a tenth of an inch of rain over one day. Now going on another day, this would be Wednesday at 12 a.m. We already got in around almost 0.2 of an inch of rain. And then going on once again, this would be Thursday at midnight, pretty not rainy. So the rain would pass by Wednesday. And then going on, this is Friday. You can see that there's going to be an event down by Texas and Oklahoma, but that's going to pass to us likely by Saturday. So here's Saturday. Now it's all in Iowa, but it will be passing our way. I'm going to a little bit past, so now it's to get a little bit less accurate, but by Sunday, you can see about half an inch of rain, which is actually pretty a lot. It could be great for the farmers. Now heading back over here, I want to cover this severe weather event that we had happen 2 weeks ago, April 15th through 16th. There was a severe weather outbreak. Now that was in Oklahoma, and it went over into Iowa as well. The Iowa day was actually the most important day. It had the most tornadoes. That was the 16th. The 15th was in Oklahoma in that area. Surprisingly enough, the event in Oklahoma was forecast to be the worst event, but it proved to not live up to the expectations because people usually say, oh, if you see the sun, that increases the instability in the air. That's not always true because what can happen is it does something called over-mixing the atmosphere, where instead of having your dew points and your temperature be very close to each other, it means that like it's moist, the storms can form. It would separate them, and that means it would be dry, and storms cannot form then. In addition to that, there was a cap, which means that there's a layer of warm air above like a ground level. So even if storms were trying to form, they can never break this barrier that was trying to get up. Now, 16th, much different. Multiple tornado reports centered around Iowa. We had a cold core event. I'm not going to get into the details of that one. But we had a very photogenic tornado that happened in Iowa. I forgot the town name, but you can see it. If you go to Reed Timmer's Twitter page and just scroll down a little bit, I guarantee you can see all these tornado reports that happened on that day. And there's some really cool photos that I would love to show. Going on, we have a 13-year anniversary of the April 27, 2011 super outbreak. Now this was probably one of our most significant outbreaks in terms of U.S. weather history. As you can see, centered over the deep south, so that's called Dixie Alley. But it even went all the way up into the far northeast, which is very impressive for an outbreak this widespread. But as you can see, we had a high risk, but basically a ton of tornadoes occurred. If I go this way, these are all the particularly dangerous situation tornado watches that they had because they were that sure that this is going to be a very volatile day. As you can see, once again, it says very volatile setup is developing for portions of Mississippi later today. Strong, violent, long-term tornadoes once again going on. This is when it tracked more east. You can see that these are supercell storms already developing on these confluence bands, which means that all these storms would pop up, but they're not going to form a line because that would destroy the tornado threat. It'd be mostly damaged wind. But for this, they all kind of stay separate. So we call those semi-discrete or discrete supercells, and those are what produce your long track violent tornadoes. As you can see, we had one band right here, another band right here, and maybe some storms far ahead trying to form as well. Once again, now this is in about the peak of the outbreak. We had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or more supercells, all likely producing strong tornadoes at the same time over Mississippi and Alabama. And so they had to extend the watch portion, the particularly dangerous situation watch, up into Tennessee. Going on, this is the last one that they had. This is basically the extension. This we had some strong tornadoes happen near Tuscaloosa, Alabama. There's some near Birmingham as well, but right here is where you see the most dominant supercells appear, so the one by Tuscaloosa. Obviously, by then they already kind of knew that, oh, a big event has happened, so they even say long-lived supercells with a history of destructive tornadoes over portions of eastern Tennessee and Alabama are expected to rapidly move eastward into the weather watch area this evening. So once again, this event was very long-lasting, and as you can see, so many supercells. And so just a quick overview of all the statistics here. Once again, one of our country's most significant tornado outbreaks, along with names such as the April 4th, 1974 super outbreak. These are about our two most significant outbreaks. We had 11 EF4s and 4 EF5s. Once again, compared to some of the earlier outbreaks, it's a lot harder to get an EF5 rating than to get an F5 rating, because F5 ratings, those were only wind speed, but this, it takes into account wind damage, and the wind speed needed to cause that damage. We had 216 tornadoes in a 24-hour period, which is, once again, upwards with some of our most damaging outbreaks. We had 316 deaths and over 3,000 injuries, and the event costed upwards of $15 billion. So once again, just a quick overview of the statistics in this. And that is your weather forecast, number 27.